G'day guys, a quick preview of the Canterbury meeting today. So it's the 10th of August. Start with obviously race 1 in the track today. A 6 metre rail, heavy 8 it is at the moment, only going to improve by the looks of the weather. Usually, or recently, a 6 metre rail's kind of looked like it was a bit down the outside, especially in the straight. You can get away with sort of being on the inside there early and then cutting off. It's a bit like a Rose Hill sort of a track where you want to conserve energy and then get off in the straight if possible. So anticipating something similar to that for the day. So race 1 for the 3-year-olds, 1550 maiden. And the key to this race kind of looks to me like there's not too many that are really well set up. The horse with probably the best setup's Medali, but it's been a bit lackluster really, to say the best, and doesn't really have the form to stack up with. It's had the preparation behind it, the 2 runs back. Preferido's had a preparation, but if we can sort of see it, it had 1,000 metre run. It had 4 trials in preparation over quite a long span here, so I'm not sure whether that was due to issues or struggle getting the horse fit. It was quite a long spell. Came back over the 1200 in its run. You know, it wasn't too bad. If we just have a quick look at it, it's had to work a little bit to get up outside the leader early and over raced a touch if anything. They have gone out fairly solidly, so this is him now 3 wide here in the better part of the track. Never really looked like running the winner down and did get a little bit tired late, so not a bad run, and certainly one that definitely doesn't put it out of this race. But now having 2 weeks and then up to 1550, to me it's a kind of a bit of a problem. I'm not too keen to look into betting up on it, even though it does look to gain a bit of the speed control here, or a lot better speed control. Mr. McElroy and So Spirited, both in their first preparation. So Spirited's had the 1,000 into the 1,200 metre run, now to 1550, all very quick and all in its first prep, and a little bit worried about it, even though I've got a good opinion of this horse going forward. Just think it's all a bit too soon for it. Mr. McElroy wasn't a bad effort in a Kembla Grange race, which is the same race Green Mar comes out of. It's had the 3 runs, probably a level below this, and they've both got to step up, whereas these 2 horses in Black and Gold and Fencourt both come out of an open Saturday grade 2-year-old. They've had the 1,400 and 1,500 metre runs, which they both had the same, and they look the 2 for mine. I'll probably just have a quick look at this replay. Fencourt's on the outside the rails here in the Patrick Hogan colour, saving in the yellow, green with the yellow spots, and Black and Gold's basically on its tail and already finding trouble here with the blinkers on. So it has no luck whatsoever, whereas Fencourt probably just knocks up a bit late and after finding, gets it laid on a bit around the turn here and has to expend a bit too much energy, and looks like it will improve again. So Black and Gold travelling really strongly in the blinkers on the back of Fencourt here. Black and Gold checked heavily. Fencourt seems to be just balking a bit to go for the run with the horses in and out of it. It's only having its second start in a race, whereas Black and Gold literally just keeps running up the back of them. So from that, I'll say Black and Gold definitely looks the one to beat today, and Fencourt can improve naturally without surprising at all. So key jockey change, Christian Reith replacing Ichikawa, and it looks the horse to beat in the first for mine. Fencourt, the danger. Preferido will get every chance, but does need to improve, and then you've got sort of So Spirited, Mr. McElroy, Screamer, the next lot, who can all go forward from where they've already been. Race 2, the 1250, and after scratchings it's sort of weaned out a little bit. Cezanne comes up favourite. Really solid form. Divine Prophet was a very good race. Kembla, its first preparation, came out and got nosed by Radcliffe, and then was spelled after another solid run behind Redouble Raymond, which is good form for a race of this nature. A quick look at where it got to in its trial. This is him last, so this is its first up trial. Suzanne out wide here. Importantly, it's a 1,050 metre trial. These horses are not proven, but he does it pretty effortlessly, and it's a very strong trial. They don't trial much better than that. So even though it's a first trial, 1250 looks suitable. Definitely the horse to beat, no doubting that. But in saying that, it's not a legless walkover event. All of them can go. Aquatic Argentina, sort of horses that have to be respected. Cordon comes off a good trial, or two good trials, one good trial this time in. No luck, held up third and just never got out at Wyong. Engaging's solid, but probably needs a bit of luck. Does look suited where it will get to in the run here today. Military Machine's a horse that I've got some time for. Is trialling okay and really looks progressive sort of 3-year-old. Royal Navy's another really well-bred horse that can improve, and did look a nice type there at Wyong in an unsuitable race that may turn out to be a pretty strong provincial maiden. And Catch a Wave, who I thought was given absolutely no chance last time out, and found the line quite well. If we just watch Catch a Wave's back last, and not even in the picture here. Oh, here it is, sorry, coming around their heels and finishes off really well the last part. I thought can settle closer, and if it's down the outside in the straight like it's predicted, it can improve significantly off that. So a race that I'm not too keen to get involved in because of the queries, but Suzanne is a worthy favourite and definitely the one to beat. If I was looking to play around it in a smaller way, go Cordoned, Military Machine, and Catch a Wave are the three that I'd probably have a little play at, as the favourite could be vulnerable first up on the heavy over the 1250. 1900 metre race. Not too excited about getting too deep into this. Obviously, Signposted's going really well. Has been controlling the tempo a lot better its last two, and that's just put them away pretty solidly on both occasions. Looks to get control again here. Multitude sits on its backside. I thought Multitude really just on the 4-day backup last time, 3-day backup, really didn't show the same tenacity that he did, and he looked to wobble and get a little bit lost with the blinkers on there for the first time. So I'm expecting, off for the first time. I'm expecting him to be much more tractable and a much harder conveyance to beat today. He'll sit on the back of Signposted, and I'm pretty sure that he'll cause some problems. The other runners with a good chance are Obsidian, obviously, coming off the second to Signposted. He's obviously hard fit and looks to get every chance again. And the other horses with a bit of class on their side are Settle the Future and Olympic Academy, who have a bit of Olympic Academy's 5 weeks between runs, which is an issue, and Settle the Future just has to find a little bit more back up in trip with the apprentice on board. So Signposted, Multitude, the two to beat here for mine in a pretty soft race. Race 4, again the 3-year-olds, and this time the fillies. Overstep comes off that solid win. Best part of its race was the last 200 for mine here. We'll go back before the turn. So this is Overstep's had the perfect run. They've gone pretty solidly, so that these leaders are pretty vulnerable, and the main dangers are behind. Highly regarded Star of Monsoon right behind him, and Fab Vier obviously comes wide and runs well as well. But this horse, Star of Monsoon, obviously may have been half a run short, but does look to really finish the race off nicely, and Overstep finds more than significantly enough late, and doesn't look to be really weakening to mine. It's sort of only going to improve and get stronger. So a worthy favourite again today. Hysterical coming off a 1,000-metre run with the blinkers off where it was heavily backed, surprisingly. Now back up to a 12.50 off another trial and blinkers reapplied. It does look the obvious danger. There is a bit of pace in the race which will suit Overstep, and I'm not sure where Hysterical is going to get to from that one gate. It'll probably try and kick up, but there is a bit of speed from others in the race. Candela, Tickling, Alluvian, all capable of being up there, and a really competitive little race. I thought Precautions, who didn't have its all own way at Wyong and still prevailed, could improve. Candela's a horse that can improve, even though it's coming off a win. Well, they're both coming off maiden wins at Wyong last time. It did have every chance there, but he's an improving type looking at it, and it's not they're not pushovers. Foxy Housewife also had no luck last start at Gosford in an open grade race, and now drops back to the 3-year-old filly. So not a straightforward race. The favourite, the one to beat, but no confidence, or not enough confidence to take a short price about it, and a fairly open behind it with a case can be made for most runners. Race 5, probably the highlight race of the day, as in horses that look like they could possibly get to stakes grade or further, or high up in stakes grades early in their careers. Chetwood's a horse that's obviously got ability. Interesting that they've put Adkins on it, but as we'll see here, I'll show the start mainly for the amount of pace this horse has. He just cruises to the front, and he's just got a high rolling cruising speed. Again, horses don't trial much better than this, so he's done a good job here. It was his second 1,000-metre trial, so he should be ready to go for a 12.50 first up, even if it is a wet track. Adkins, I'm assuming, will be told to lead and bowl, which will again not hurt on the wet track. He's just got to steer it to the right part in the straight, and he's the one to run down. Canny Essence obviously been up a while, also had the 2 trials, importantly had the 1,200-metre trial, even though it was almost a month ago, so it's been ticking over since then, and will be a query first up on the heavy ground, and will probably give them a start from the awkward gate. It doesn't have anywhere near as much pace, natural pace, that Chetwood has. Crossover noseband goes on, and it could well pick them up and carry them. It's a very nice horse, Canny Essence, and definitely well and truly up to Chetwood or any horse in this race. Secret Prophet's another horse that I'm interested in, because it looks the one that will get on the back of Chetwood and could easily challenge it. It's had the 2 trials as well. It's back on the inside here, coming down the straight, and nowhere near as flashy or as impressive as Chetwood, but I think it's more of a bulldog type. And now that he's been gelded, I think he'll stick on quite well. The other 2 chances I thought that basically because they were race fit were Mapmaker coming from the country and Caesar Augustus. Huge huge class rise for Mapmaker here. Coming to town, found a really tough race to make his city debut, but he's a nice horse, and Caesar Augustus dropping back from the 15.50 is hard fit and could expose any weaknesses in the favourites if he gets a bit of luck in the straight, drawn that awkward inside gate. So again, not a race I'm definitely not keen to take the short odds Chetwood. I think he's vulnerable, especially with Adkins on. You could get over racing a little bit, and he's not the easiest horse to rate in the lead. Canny Essence obviously a clear danger, and then you've got Mapmaker, Caesar Augustus, Secret Prophet. Well, Secret Prophet actually probably more than the other 2 that are all going to be right there. So a really good race, looking forward to it, and not one that I want to get too keenly involved in, though. Race 6, I don't want to spend too much time on this, as it looks an absolute lottery. Horses that are going okay, but not the most genuine, or horses that like to win races. The pace of the race looks a bit wishy-washy. Ready already drawn the inside and probably will lead, but not one that really wants to lead. A few that can sort of get up on the speed. You're like talking Dr. Sykes as the second fastest horse early. I would be more surprised if Crown Moss sort of kicked up and took the leader on for a spot there, and even maybe, Heroic and My Giuliano drawn wide coming across the boss. It's a dodgy race from every perspective, and not one that I really even want to take a look at as a quaddie race. It's like, it's nearly a field job, because there's so many horses that can improve, there's so many horses that don't like winning, and there's queries on just about everything in the race. So no result is a surprise for me in this one. The last in a race I am interested in, this win of Nyetta at Wyong was the win of a very smart horse. He was debuting for the stable here, John Thompson's stable, and I think he could have led here if he wanted to. Bobby is trying to restrain her and eventually pops in behind the leaders, but you'll see still over racing quite fiercely here. For a horse to be first up over racing fiercely on a 1,000 metre run, and then to be able to show the turn of foot this horse does in the straights, a really good sign. These horses are obviously not superstars, but they're not legless either, and they had a bit of country provincial form, and for what this filly does in the straight, I think she's now a mare, is quite impressive. Like, she puts them away in 2 strides. Bobby gives a 1, 2, and she's strong to the line. So the last 50 is probably the most impressive, which is a great point going up to the 1100. She's got Blake Shin taking over now. No knock on Bobby, but he's as class as a jockey as you'll find around the place. He'll have her travelling there somewhere just behind him. He'll try and pilot to the best spot. He'll know what's going on by this time, and she's going to take a lot of beating here, even though she is up in grade. I think that Gone to Paris has been handled not as well as she could have been. All 3 runs back. Her first up run was solid, just ran out of fitness. Its second up run was enormous. She then stayed at the same trip and missed the kick half, dug out and just over-raced in a complete forgive, beaten 6 lengths, and really I could forgive all of that. So maybe back to 1100 here with a bit of pace around, or a bit of more natural pace, especially with light on ice and other runners here like Go Cup Bell, Volante, all a bit of pressure anyway. These horses want to hold their spots from the inside, and the ones at the outside are looking for a position. So it could create a bit of tempo, which will suit Gone to Paris, I believe, and I think it can improve significantly. Alaskan Wolf's absolutely flying. Obviously winning at Taree and Gosford, it is a step up here, but if it is down the outside, she gets a bit of a 3-wide trail. I could definitely entertain her as a horse that can close, and then lesser hopes to Go Cup Bell, Think Aloud, Volante, and the possible resumer. So it's a long spell, 300-day spell with an apprentice on from the inside gate. Since Elsie, probably not the day for her, but she does have the ability if she was set for it. So Nyetta clearly on top, Gone to Paris clear second pick, Alaskan Wolf right there, and then quite open outside of those 3, I think, in what is probably the better betting race of the day. I know there has been some good moves early already for runners, so hopefully anyone was betting there has secured better odds, but it is a good race and I look forward to it. So not a bad program, a couple of good races, a couple of dicey ones. Race 6 for me is a dead set lottery. Good luck if you're having a bet, and hopefully we find something worth backing out of that review. Thanks guys, I'll preview. Thank you.